that came up. They offered me to. If you're a fan of that show, they've been teeing it up for years that Barney Stinson believes that the real Karate Kid is William Zabka, and that Russo won by an illegal kick and the most traumatic ending in cinema history. So I had known that because my son watches the show all the time, and my daughter as well. And so when they offered me the bit, it wasn't very well written at the time. It wasn't well, what's the word, fully established. I was more like I was at Barney's bachelor party, but I had nothing to do. So I initially passed on it because I said, I'd done the entourage thing, I did the wax on, leap off, I've done a few things playing myself, and it really has to be, it's got to be funny, cool, and interesting. You can't just be, okay, hi, I'm Ralph, I'm in the scene, and you make a joke about it and it goes away. Well, I passed on it, my kids stopped talking to me. How dare, who do you think you are? That's How I Met Your Mother. And so the writers called back, and then we started talking about an idea, and they came up with the concept, okay, let's make, Ralph Barney's worst nightmare, like he's a mirror image of himself. And so that made sense to me, so we put it all together. It was a great bit, and the best part about it is there's so many young kids that watch that show that might not have seen the Karate Kid. They all come up and say, I loved How I Met Your Mother, and then I saw the Karate Kid, and it all made sense. And so it just sent people to Netflix or whatever, and it just keeps the legacy of that film alive. So it was fun, but he's nothing like that.
Hi, about the TV show thing, you're on my favorite show. You were in an episode of my favorite show, Psych. And I have a question about the Karate Kid. Did you actually have to catch the fly with the chopstick?
Good question. It's going to lead to a good little story. First of all, Psych is so much fun. Those guys are great. Everyone, the entire cast. But James Roget and Roget's a genius. He's I'm giving him too much credit, but he's really talented. I love him. He's good. He's a good guy, and Dule Hill. They're fantastic together. The whole cast, great experience. I did 2 episodes, and the last one I did, I really had a lot of fun making fun of my cousin Vinny and other stuff like that. Catching the fly with chopsticks. That took forever. We shot that stuff in pieces. They were so, now they would just do it with, CGI digital. But back then, they had flies they were dead flies that they glued to little, like, and they kept saying, Ralph, you gotta make, and I'm like, but it's just this dead thing. You see, every time the light, you see the string. I mean, it was like, it was not a filming line, so it was really thin. Then they had a guy, one of the photographers, was able to catch flies with his hands, and he would take and he'd lasso live ones. So they were trying to carry this string, and then they get tired and just sort of dangle down. And I kept decapitating him. I would have to grab the string, slide it down, and then they had plastic ones that were like 3 times the size. It took forever. Then, this is the best. Then once they had me shoot it backwards, that was it. They said this day. It must have been like 6 different days we tried. You asked the question, dude. You get me the story. This part of the Q&As is when you come up with a story like this, because no one's ever heard this, so it's cool. It's just you guys. But one time they asked me to start with the fly caught and then let it go, and I had to act in reverse, and it did not work. The one that's in the movie is basically one of those shots where it's on the string, and I grabbed it and I slid it down and didn't take its head off. And I was like, oh, Mr. Miyagi, whatever. And then they come back to the other shot, and you'll see that it's in the middle of if you look back, one shot it's here, and one shot it's here. I figured that was a good story for you.